Good evening, parents. A special welcome back to the school year to all the members of the 162 Southland family. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that you're out there and that you're partnering with us. This is a very, very different school year. Our first year opening on remote. As you're well aware, it was not our intent. And you know what? We're fighting to get back to hybrid. But you well know why we made that decision, to make sure that our children are safe, to monitor the situation. You know that there are all kinds of theories. Some feel that the virus will combine with the flu season and will have some kind of negative impact. I'm not concentrating on that. I feel that the children are safe at home with you, and I'm concentrating on preparing everything to welcome them back. And what we've been doing, the teachers are in their schoolrooms. It's an interesting sight. When I visit, I look at the computers, I look at the empty classrooms, and that gives me some pause. But what I feel is the excitement and the dedication of the teachers. I also know that they're learning something new. They thought perhaps they couldn't do this, but they've proved themselves wrong and they can. So our goal is seamless communication with you each and every day while we still monitor and do everything that we can to make a good decision to reopen with a hybrid, face-to-face instruction, and remote for those who still are hesitant. But as I go into the classrooms, this Google Meets thing, this intrigues me. The fact that we can teach on a schedule, the fact that we can do tutoring with small groups and separate them from the major groups so that we're able to concentrate on individual strategies. It just intrigues me. But as I say to you now, you're going to hear some information this evening. Two people I'm going to bring to you. Mr. Daniel Evans, who was our Director of Technology, and I think you've known him over the years, but possibly a new face. His name is Scott Chandler. He's going to come to you. He represents the educational side of the implementation of the technology, so you will hear a different nuance. But together, they, along with the technology team, because remember, we are a team, not only the teachers, not only the administrators, but every school has at least one technology coordinator who's working every day to make sure that we're stronger and stronger. And so I had an experience at the Arcadia. I walked into the computer labs. We're not using the computer labs anymore. You know, we have over 2,800 devices out there. They're with you. So why would we use the standalone computers? But I saw two little children sitting at the table. And in order to protect our teaching staff, we're over 80% female. I did not want them to have to stay at home and just help their own children with remote instruction. So in our 8 buildings, we actually have 27 children. But when I went into the Arcadia computer lab, there were 2 little children having their snack. They actually are students of another district, and there were their Chromebooks sitting there. And it gave me a feeling of peace and calm, because I thought, these teachers are doing everything they can for the Southland 162 children, but we're allowing them also to fulfill their primary obligation, because remember, family is what's dearest to our hearts. And so I know we're doing a good job on many different levels. But tonight, this is the first of 5 evenings that we're going to be coming to you. And we're going to be talking about something that's near and dear to your heart, and that is technology. I know that you're feeling that I'm saying that with tongue in cheek, because technology probably is not nearest and dearest to your heart. but it's the way that we communicate with you. It's the way that we communicate with your children. And it's the way that we make sure that this seamless instruction continues. And so tonight, there is going to be a presentation on the nuances of technology, but we need your input. On the chat, would you please ask us whatever questions that you have? Please outline as many problems and issues, and you'll get a call back from us, possibly tonight, but no later than tomorrow. Because the essence of what it is we do is really the partnership with you. I miss you. I have to find some kind of way that I can engage and I can see more of you. But the most important thing is that we're preparing for the future of our children. And secondly, that we're working together with a seamless partnership and exchanging information. But you know what else? We're learning. I predict that we're going to be entirely different a year from now, and perhaps this technology becomes just a part of how we communicate, that we're together, but there's another way for us to communicate also. So thank you for joining us this evening. Beginning on the 22nd, going through the 24th, we will also invite you to be a part of us as we discuss curriculum. But tonight we begin this whole discussion with technology, and I just want to thank you. Each and every day I'm grateful to be your superintendent. I'm grateful to know that your children are out there. I see you sometimes on Zoom and on Google Meets, so I know that you're there supervising. But this is going to pass. Just remember that. It's going to pass. And our goal is to get back to that new term, that new phase of our existence, and it's called hybrid. Thank you so much, and be safe.
Good evening. My name is Daniel Evans, and I'm the Director of Technology for Matteson School District 162 and Southland College Prep Charter High School.
And I'm Scott Chandler, the Coordinator of Instructional Technology at Huth Middle School.
Welcome to the Southland College Prep and Matteson School District 162 Open House. We are delighted to share this evening with you.
We've already embarked on a school year unlike any other. Sure, some facets have clearly changed. Classrooms have become bedrooms and living rooms and kitchens. Schools themselves, they've become think tanks. But what remains the same is our commitment to each other and the success of our students. We are calling on that commitment once again to ensure we have another successful school year in Matteson School District 162.
While our students returned to classes a few short weeks ago, the plan to open school actually began months earlier, framed by two seemingly simple questions. First, how do we ensure the safety of our students, staff, and families? Second, how do we deliver rigorous and relevant education? It became quickly apparent that educational technology was at the center of both answers.
With the guidance and support of Superintendent Dr. Davis and the Matteson School District 162 and Southland School Boards, we were able to secure enough resources to provide every one of our students with their own digital learning device. That was an immense undertaking. Tonight, we begin the process of breaking down what that exactly means for our district, our students, our teachers, and their families. First, we'll summarize the investments that we made to ensure your schools are ready to pivot in this changing environment without losing one bit of educational efficacy. Next, we'll provide an overview of Google Classroom, its basic functions, and how it's going to impact your child. Third, we'll review the new norms and expectations in this digital learning world. And finally, we'll provide you with the resources that you will need to best articulate the most conducive learning environment for your children. Daniel?
Thanks, Scott. There was a gigantic effort that went into the preparation of this very unique school year, unlike anything we've ever seen before. A significant amount of capital was invested, and through the coordination and support of both boards of education, the superintendent, staff, and teachers, we were able to pull this off. And now we turn to you, our students and families. So let's begin this new and exciting adventure together. The undertaking began with the purchase of approximately 1,600 Chromebooks and several hundred hotspots, guaranteeing our students had one-to-one accessibility for the first time in our district's history. Grades 4 through 9 will be utilizing the Chromebooks. Kindergarten through third grade have primarily been given laptop computers, and grades 10 through 12 have been given iPads. All grades K through 12 have been given a device to assist them with their educational instruction while remote. In preparation, the entirety of Southland College Prep High School and 162's faculty members and administrators engaged in comprehensive professional development on Google Suite for Education, a commitment of more than 5,000 collective man-hours, plus countless more in collaborative practice and discovery with their colleagues to service our students best. New enterprise class wireless access points were added to every classroom to bolster connectivity and signal strength in anticipation of the one-to-one initiative where all students in K through 12 will have a device when the students return to school. The district purchased new SIPA-compliant web content filtering software to ensure our student devices continue to be monitored and filtered whether on-site at the school or remote. The district also hired additional IT staff to assist where needed. The district also hired a coordinator of instructional tech. The board approved this creation of a new administrative position, coordinator of instructional technology, to coordinate the efforts of our on-site technology instructors, and also to work directly with you, our families, to ensure our experiences with the technology are meaningful and rewarding. Now, Scott, tell us about Google Classroom.
If you haven't heard of it yet, Google Classroom will soon become a common term in your homes. What it is for us is a game changer that serves as the central hub for almost everything that we do. Google Classroom is a learning management system and the primary way your teachers and students will communicate with each other. It is where the assignments, learning resources, and materials are shared. In short, it is the digital embodiment of a school. It is the cubbies. It is the lockers. It's the desks and supplies. It's the worksheets and the journals, all rolled into one. These functions are maintained by the Google Suite for Education. Google Docs, Slides, Drive, Calendar, all of these carry out the basic functions of a classroom in an entirely digital environment. The only part of a classroom, the most influential part that can't be digitized, is the teacher. This is where Google Meet comes in. Google Meet is Google's video conferencing tool. Meet is how our students attend class. It is where they receive their direct instruction, collaborate with peers, ask and receive help, and in some cases, even get small group and one-on-one support. Google Meet is where our students go now when they go to school. Daniel, boot us up.
If you're logging in using a Chromebook, you will be logging in with your Google account. To log in on your student-provided Dell laptop, you will log in with your student ID and the password provided. Once logged in, you're going to go to the desktop and launch the Google Chrome browser. When Google Chrome opens, go to accounts.google.com, sign in with your Google-provided ID and password, go to the top right-hand corner and select the waffle, go down and then select the Google Classroom application.
Once logged into Google Classroom, the power of it to organize your day becomes apparent. I can take each of the classes that I'm a member of and reorder them so they're easier for me to find. Perhaps I want to order them by subject or the order I see them throughout the day. Further, I can use the to-do list to see all the information from my classes and organize them so I can see what is coming up and what is due. I can see missing assignments and also assignments that I've already completed. I can also use the calendar and see what is coming up this coming week. Assignments will populate on each day to let me know when they are due. Long-term planning is available by cycling through the weeks, and I can also go back and see what was previously due. To enter into a specific class, you only need to click on the name of that class. Once logged into a classroom, there are a few structural elements worth noting. The classroom stream represents a continuous flow of information and resources coming into the classroom. Announcements, assignments, materials shared will continuously populate into the stream with the newest materials on top. You can find your assignments in the stream, but if you have a lot of activity going on in a class, the best way to find your assignments is by clicking on Classwork. Your teacher can organize the assignments based into categories, and you can also organize them based on missing assignments and assignments you've already turned in. The greatest power of Google Classroom is that your resources are always with you. Every folder, every textbook, every assignment, as long as you have an internet connection, is right there available for you at your fingertips. As a parent, your students' teachers can invite you via email to join the classroom as a guardian. This will enable you to get announcements, view graded assignments, and be notified of missing work in a summary. You can choose to receive that summary weekly or every day if you prefer. Now let's talk about the attendance on Meet. For most of our students, joining each class's live Meet session is as easy as clicking the link just underneath the class heading. For security purposes, the teacher can choose when to hide and reveal this link. If you are early to class and no link is available, be patient and refresh your screen every few minutes. It'll show up when your teacher is ready. Some teachers schedule their meetings out ahead of time. In this case, students will receive an email with the link. This typically occurs at the high school level, though. If you'd like more information on this part, hang tight until the end of this presentation and we'll go over your resources.
The third part of our presentation is about our expectations. Although we may be at home, we must still endeavor to keep the decorum and expectations of a classroom within our learning environment. Let's talk about some of our student expectations. Our students will be punctual. They will dress appropriately, which means students will not wear pajamas, robes, hats, or other headwear. Students will be attentive and active participants. Students will be professional and respectful. Students will not record, photograph, live stream, or transmit any part of their Google Meet sessions. Students also will not share their login credentials or any passwords at all. Let's remember, anything worth doing is worth doing well. The attitude students bring and the environment they create will go hand in hand with their successes. And now let's view some of our parent expectations. Parents, please provide an adequate location away from distractions and interference. Remember, it is sometimes hard to recognize an entire class is present when we only see our child in front of us. Anything your child's microphone picks up or camera sees will be broadcast to all of their classmates.
We know as we move forward, issues may arise, and we are here to fully support you. If you are having technical difficulties, your first action should always be to contact your teacher in the most direct way possible. Email addresses are available on each school website. You can send a direct message through Google Classroom, and some teachers are even utilizing third-party applications to keep in touch with parents and their families. Not only will your teacher be able to best advise you on your next move, they will also know not to penalize you and ensure that you do not miss any critical components of your lesson. If you have trouble reaching your teacher, then directly call your school. The front office is prepared to address your questions and can relay your messages to your teachers. Lastly, don't give up. Keep trying throughout the day and continue trying to attend your classes. If the issues continue, go through the process of communication discussed here for each class. Of course, there will be questions that occur outside of school hours. It is always a good idea to keep your teachers informed no matter when a problem arises. But for the times that they are not available, we have implemented multiple tiers of support that will be available to you whenever you need them. Your school district websites have many of the general guidelines, expectations, and resources you may need. Information specific to your individual classes will likely be available on your teacher's classroom page. Further, on each school website will be a digital technology binder. This binder will serve as a quick reference for basic tutorials and features and tips in Google Classroom and its associated Google Suite for Education apps. Finally, we'll be launching a platform to address instances where the information you seek is not readily available. You'll be able to reach out to me directly. Each week, I will respond to family questions about educational technology on Tech Talk Tuesdays. It will also be a place to showcase how technology is being utilized and implemented throughout our district and serve as a place for teachers to find professional growth opportunities. I encourage you to visit routinely and stay up to date with all of the exciting innovations happening in our school district, because I'm going to be blogging about it all.
As we conclude this evening, we believe the hallmark of this year will be our continued partnership with you, the parents and students, working together toward educating your children our future.
If you have any questions, please, the first line of contact are your students' teachers. If further clarification is needed, feel free to contact your building administrators.
We look forward to hearing from you. Have a wonderful night.